Karen's obsession with control took yet another outrageous turn when she called animal control on my guide animal, claiming it was a nuisance and an unauthorized presence on my property. She assumed that bureaucratic authority and petty rules could be used to intimidate, disrupt, and dominate, but she had no idea she was stepping into a situation she could not manipulate. My guide animal wasn't just a companion. It was an essential partner, fully trained, protected under law, and integral to my daily life. When the animal control officers arrived, Karen was practically gleeful, convinced that she would see me caught off guard. She imagined that my response would be frantic or disorganized. But she had miscalculated. I remained calm, presenting documentation, certifications, and legal protections that made her complaint laughably baseless. Every officer quickly realized that Karen's accusations were not just false. They were an attempt to manipulate authority for personal vendetta. Her confidence wavered almost immediately, but I didn't stop at neutralizing her threat. Karen's audacity created an opportunity to demonstrate the consequences of her entitlement in a highly visible, undeniable way. I documented every step: the call she made, the arrival of officers, and the subsequent interactions. Her misbehavior was now undeniable, recorded, and prepared to be leveraged if necessary. The attempt to manipulate animal control backfired spectacularly, leaving her frustrated, exposed, and increasingly aware that her habitual overreach was creating consequences she could not control. The neighborhood, too, began noticing a pattern. Karen's repeated attempts to assert dominance over property, people, and even animals highlighted her reckless sense of authority. Her credibility plummeted as it became clear she had no understanding of law, procedure, or ethical boundaries. She had assumed that calling authorities, creating false complaints, and targeting others would intimidate me, but it had the opposite effect. It revealed her incompetence and recklessness for all to see. By the end of the incident, Karen was left both humiliated and powerless. Her efforts to manipulate bureaucracy had failed, and she had underestimated not only my preparedness but also the legal and procedural protections in place. The guide animal remained safe, my authority and control intact, and Karen's sense of dominance shattered. Her arrogance, it became increasingly clear, had blinded her to reality, leaving her vulnerable to a series of setbacks that would continue to compound. This event was more than a single victory. It was a pattern. Karen consistently underestimated the people she sought to intimidate, assuming entitlement and authority would carry her through. But each overreach, whether demolishing vehicles, calling emergency services, or attempting to target essential companions, only served to highlight her mistakes and strengthen my position. Animal control had become yet another battlefield in which her miscalculations were exposed, her authority questioned, and her ego bruised. Karen had believed she could manipulate every situation to her advantage. Instead, she learned that underestimating the wrong person and the wrong family invites consequences far beyond expectation. She would continue to try, of course, driven by stubbornness and entitlement, but every action now carried the unmistakable weight of her prior failures. And every observer, neighbor, and official who witnessed these confrontations knew exactly who truly held authority, control, and foresight in this ongoing saga.